Hello, Catholic Controversy here. And if you don't know already, I'm a conservative with sophisticated taste in comedy. So naturally, I hate Family Guy. It's nothing but random jokes and a pretty strong left-wing bias. When I saw that Family Guy was doing an episode on the Tea Party, I was looking forward to see how badly they'd screwed it up. I'm not an official member of the Tea Party, but I agree with what they stand for, as told by the members, not the media. I am all for smaller government and lower taxes. So, with this in mind, let's see how badly Liberal Guy screwed this up. And for copyright reasons, I will only quote the episode and not show video clips. Okay, so far so good. Peter is upset with the government sticking its nose in his business, and quagmire complaining about wasting tax dollars on ridiculous causes. They haven't screwed up the message yet. The news says that they're all for lower taxes and limited government. True so far. Hold it. That is not the Tea Party. Maybe in the liberal world of Family Guy, but that's not how it is in the real world. The Tea Party consists of real people who want the government to stop trying to control their lives. Here are links to some real Tea Partiers here on YouTube. These guys are not the big business types Brian is talking about, but that funded by big business types thing does remind me of a movement who wants to change the way things are. Sounds a bit like Occupy Wall Street. That movement, on the other hand, isn't the grassroots movement you think it is. It's funded by big Hollywood liberals who want to further their agenda, like Michael Moore. And the being used thing and being too clueless to know it, again, Occupy. That would be completely right if it didn't immediately make a masturbation joke at the misrepresentation of self-reliance. They don't mean pleasuring yourself, they mean that you are in charge of your own being and no one else is, especially the government. If you don't like your current situation, then you are the only one that can change it. He does make some good points, but rather ridiculous ones at that, about the government wanting to control your lives. Here's the best one. I agree that this is bad and should not be tolerated. This is a free country and it's an individual's choice as to whether or not to be healthy. Gabriel Iglesias said it best when asked if he wants a long life. What's the point if I can't eat tacos? Okay, AccuNuts. Time for a lesson in the real world. 1. There is nothing wrong with being successful. If you work hard and make money, good for you. If you are successful, there's nothing wrong with wanting to keep your hard-earned money like us regular people. Luckily, Carter brings up the point that Brian is an arrogant, unemployed dog. He's just one of those liberal elites who spreads lies and hates patriots. Couldn't agree more. True again. Unfortunately, Carter goes into an evil laugh once Peter agrees to join the Tea Party. The villain in this episode is the one making sense and has millions. Who would have guessed? Again, nothing wrong with being rich. Big oil isn't the enemy. They power our cars, pave our roads, make cosmetics, make plastics, make a lot of stuff that I'm sure you enjoy. I would comment on the regulations Brian is talking about, but since specifics aren't given, I can't. I agree with some of the regulations, since pollution will come and bite humans on the butt, but some of the green regulations are ridiculous, like no new nuclear power plants. Nuclear is reliable, greener than other reliable energies, and you can't base the whole Chernobyl meltdown argument on the technology of today. That's like saying we shouldn't use smartphones due to the radiation given off by early cell phones. Nuclear powers Japan, and their plants survived the earthquake capital of the world. No, they don't. The Tea Party wants a smaller, more responsible government. One that only spends what we take in. One that doesn't hate the rich, that make jobs, that puts food on our plates. One that doesn't need to borrow money to pay for the nice entitlements that make it so people don't feel the need to find work. One that does what the framers of the Constitution intended. Again, true, but because it's said by the villain of the episode, we can't take what he says seriously. Apparently, that's supposed to represent Tea Party Republicans. As a Republican, I disagree with that statement. We aren't against women having careers, and if they choose to not get married, that's their choice. What I'm against is the feminazis who say men are evil, and if you get married or choose to be a stay-at-home mom, then you are sub-woman. Plus, look who's making the sexist joke. Liberal Seth MacFarlane. It's hard to make jokes like that if you aren't it yourself. I know he has writers, but he said it was fine. Probably laughed at it as well. I didn't think it was funny. Lawn signs and marching. First Amendment rights to peaceful protest, like Tea Partiers. The billboard with Mayor West equaling Hitler, bad and unlike Tea Partiers. Republicans haven't equaled any of our country's leaders to Hitler as far as I know. But liberals, on the other hand, have more or less said Bush equals Hitler. I'm not negating that comparison, so don't disagree with me right there if you don't agree with Bush. All I'm saying is it's more liberal to compare a leader of some part of the US to Hitler. Then there's the beating of the guy who wants a little bit of government. In the real world, that guy wouldn't have been beaten, and even agreed with. Tea Partiers agree with little government to protect rights and liberties. I have never heard of someone getting beaten at a Tea Party rally, but I have at Occupy Wall Street. Tea Partiers agree with free speech and freedom of opinion. That guy would have never have been silenced. We don't silence the opposition, not even like liberals with their buzzwords, because everyone has a right to free speech and opinion. Okay, so what is your fascination with Holocaust, Nazis, and Jew jokes? Seems like every episode of Family Guy that I have the misfortune of watching, there's always some kind of joke about Nazis, Jews, Hitler, or any of that relating to World War II and the Holocaust. Those jokes are not funny. They are never funny. They are never in good taste. Why do you make them? Are you in fact an anti-Semite? I will give Liberal Guy credit for this. They did do a good job at depicting what society would be like without government taking care of the things that they are supposed to, like garbage pickup, water, power lines, street maintenance, etc. The only problem is that they got that way because they depicted the Tea Partiers as anarchists. Again, they want a small government to do that which the government is designed to do, not anarchy. Okay, let's rewind to earlier in the episode. You said that the Tea Party was all for self-reliance, and that's still true. They don't believe the rich are going to take care of them. Rather, that if the rich are allowed to keep more of their own money, they will invest it into the community through jobs. Thus, after you provide them with a service that they require, they will provide you with the good of money. And therefore, you are able to take care of yourself through an equal transaction. That sounds like a fair deal, so long as the amount of money is based on an equal percent, because even with an equal percent, rich people will pay more, as I prove here. The Tea Party is all for what Peter just described, with my clarification on the tax thing. So glad the episode is over now. I hope you enjoyed, and even if you didn't, thanks for watching. This has been Catholic Controversy, signing off, and may God bless you. Oh, before we go, I have one last thing to point out. I kept a tally of all the just random jokes that had absolutely nothing to do with the story throughout this entire episode. If we were to get rid of them, we'd be able to get rid of 3 minutes and 45 seconds.